All right, hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are we're going to be doing a deep dive
Oh, cool.
into some of the works of Kierkegaard.
Kierkegaard. All right. I'm excited.
Yeah. So specifically, we're going to be looking at three Upbuilding discourses,
Okay.
which he published in 1844.
Mm-hmm.
And these are, well, they're called discourses,
Yeah.
but they really kind of read almost like sermons. But
Right.
but so we're going to be kind of getting into those today.
Cool.
And these discourses, they deal with like some pretty heavy topics,
Yeah.
but they're, I think, really relevant to anyone really who's
Yeah.
trying to
For sure. Yeah.
navigate like the complexities of modern life.
Totally.
So I'm really interested to hear, kind of your thoughts on these.
Yeah. I mean, what really strikes me about these discourses is how they dive into like these core human experiences, right?
Wow.
Like our need for something beyond just ourselves,
Yeah.
our own like individual existence,
Yeah.
and the role that suffering plays in shaping us. And then, I mean, something that we could all use a little more of, I think, especially these days, is this idea of patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it is interesting, right? Because especially that first one that you mentioned,
Right.
the need for something else, something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
One of the discourses is actually titled, "To Need God is a Human Being's Highest Perfection."
Yeah. That's a really interesting one.
Which is really interesting because, that seems like so counter to our modern...
It really does. It goes against everything. Like our culture kind of tells us.
Right. Like we're supposed to be like self-sufficient and all this. And so to say that like needing something is our highest perfection.
It's like the opposite of what we're told. Right.
Yeah.
Like pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all of that. But this is kind of saying, no, there's actually strength in recognizing that you need something outside of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you interpret that then? Like,
well, I think, Kierkegaard, he wasn't necessarily saying we need to like blindly follow a dogma or anything. It's more about, recognizing our limitations. Like we're human. We don't have all the answers.
Right.
And there's something really, I think, powerful and beautiful in admitting that, right? In that humility.
In that surrender.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I do think that we have this tendency to want to control everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like we want to control
we want to be in the driver's seat all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can figure this out. I can fix this.
Yeah, I can do this in my head.
I've got this.
Yeah.
But
and that can be exhausting.
It is exhausting. And I think that's what's so interesting about this is this idea of like, what if
letting go like actually brings us more peace?
What if it actually frees us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting way to look at that. Okay, so moving on to the second discourse.
Okay.
The thorn in the flesh.
Ooh.
This title always gets me because I'm like, what is he talking about, the thorn in the flesh?
Yeah, it's a very like visceral image, right? You can practically feel it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, ooh, I don't want that.
Yeah. But
he's using it as like a metaphor, right?
Exactly. He's using it as this metaphor for, well, anything that causes us suffering, really.
Okay.
Limitations, challenges, setbacks, you name it.
Okay.
And he even writes in it something like, "The thorn in the flesh is given to remind us of our weakness and to prevent us from becoming proud." But here's the thing. He didn't see suffering as just this purely negative thing.
Right.
He actually saw it as like this opportunity to grow and to connect with something bigger.
Okay, so like it has a purpose almost.
Yeah, I think he would say that it does, that it's not just something to endure or try to avoid, but actually something that can be like a catalyst for something more. I mean, you think about people who've gone through like incredible hardship, right? I mean, it's really difficult things, and they come out the other side not broken, but stronger.
Yeah.
More resilient.
Right. Yeah.
Even more compassionate sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's true. And it's almost like, you said that image of the thorn in the flesh.
Yeah.
It is a very like visceral...
It is. It's not a pleasant thing.
It's not a pleasant thing.
Yeah.
But you think about like a thorn like on a rose bush or something, right?
Right.
Like that's what protects the rose.
That's what protects that beautiful flower. Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting to think about it that way, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to the third discourse.
Yeah.
To preserve one's soul in patience.
Yes, patience.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think this one is especially relevant today, right? I mean,
in our world of instant gratification and everything.
Yeah, everything's got
like we want everything like now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And patience is like, I don't want to wait.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, why wait?
Yeah.
But I think there's something really important in what Kierkegaard's saying here.
Oh, absolutely. He saw patience as like this essential ingredient for a healthy soul. Really.
Right.
Like he believed that it allowed us to really reflect and grow, to really understand things on a deeper level.
Okay.
Because when we're patient, we create the space, right?
Yeah.
For stillness, for like listening.
Right.
And then we can actually like learn from whatever's unfolding, whether we like it or not.
So it's not about being passive, is it? No, not at all. It's not about just sitting around and waiting for something to happen. It's more like this active kind of waiting, where you're really present, you're attentive, you're open to learning from the process, even if it's uncomfortable.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, think about a time when like you've had to wait for something really important, right?
Oh yeah.
Like a job offer or maybe some test results or something.
Right. Or maybe you were waiting to hear back from somebody about something that really mattered to you, you know? And it's like, ugh, come on. Like, I want to know now.
Yeah.
But that waiting period, as much as it drives us crazy, it can be a time where we learn a lot about ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
About what we value, about how we cope, about what really matters.
Right.
And those are really valuable lessons.
Yeah. For sure. It's almost like we learn the most.
Yeah.
When we're forced to. Yeah.
When we're kind of backed into a corner,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're up against a wall and we have to figure out a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like life's boot camp,
Right. Right. Yeah. And it is interesting, right? Because it does seem like all three of these discourses have this common thread, this idea of surrendering to something bigger than ourselves.
Totally.
Whether it's accepting our limitations or finding meaning in our suffering or cultivating patience.
Yeah. And I think the key here is that surrendering to something bigger than ourselves, it's not about giving up, right? It's not about becoming passive. It's a way of finding like real strength and purpose, because we're recognizing that we're part of something larger than just our own little world.
Yeah. Wow, that's really incredible. I mean, this has been a really thought-provoking deep dive.
It has.
And I'm kind of left wondering, like, what if our obsession today, our modern obsession, I guess I should say, with control and self-reliance is actually preventing us from experiencing like a much deeper and more meaningful kind of strength?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's something to really sit with.
Yeah, and I think I will be sitting with that for quite a while. Well, this has been a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, this was great.
I always enjoy these deep dives.
Me too.
And until next time, keep on diving deep, everyone.
Absolutely. See you next time.
Bye.
Yeah.